What skill do you need to go from a good manager to a great leader? Well, I'm going to tell you coming up next. Welcome, leaders, to another episode of Leadership Roll Call. I'm your host, Michael Finley. Would it surprise you to know that 50% of managers are rated ineffective? One of the reasons given is that managers have been focusing on technical skills and not so-called people skills. This has resulted in managers not getting along with team members, not having a productive team, and high employee turnover. One of the main skills a manager can have to be more effective is empathy, and that's our topic for today. So, what is empathy? Well, a lot of people confuse it with its sister, sympathy, but there's two different things. Sympathy deals with the compassion, sorrow, or pity a person has with another's hardships that they're encountering. Empathy is putting yourself in that person's shoes. Empathy means that you're aware of a person's feelings, you understand how it affects their needs, and you're non-judgmental about whether you agree with them or not. So how do we do that? Well, an example would be, say an employee comes to you with a problem. Instead of saying, oh man, not another problem, instead, put yourself in their shoes. You were probably in their position at one time in your life. Instead, think of, how can I help this person? Also, when you're dealing with a customer and the customer's expressing frustration, we've all dealt with frustration before, and remember back to a time that you dealt with frustration. It helps us connect to the customer and solve their problems. So how does empathy help us become a great leader? Well, it builds trust. It builds trust with our employees and those we work with. By showing that we are going to listen to someone's viewpoints and understand their viewpoints without being judgmental, it builds trust. And this, in turn, helps build collaboration with you and your team and increases productivity. So how do we get there? Well, it's going to take some time and some effort. But you know what? The payoff is worth it. First thing you want to do is put their needs in front of yours. Now, this is a challenge dealing with a competitive market that we're in. But by putting their needs in front of yours, that's the first step toward building empathy. The second thing is you want to listen to them. You want to practice those active listening skills that we talked about in a previous episode. Then you want to put aside your viewpoint and look at it from their viewpoint. You'll find out that most of the time, they're not mean or manipulative or even stubborn. They're just reacting to a situation based on the knowledge that they have at that particular time. So look at it from their viewpoint. And lastly, you want to be non-judgmental. Just because you disagree with them does not mean that they're wrong. Don't be judgmental in their views. If you want to become a great leader, use empathy. I hope you enjoyed this very brief overview of empathy. If you have a comment about this topic or any other leadership skill, please put it in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Until next time, good luck with empathy.